So the first step of this is just to make a wish. And this is something big that you want. And we're going to refine it. But for now, maybe you already know exactly what it is. You have some dream, like you want to go to Paris and become an artist, or you want to, I don't know, start a business, write a book. And so you just have this thing. And if you're not sure, just pick something for now that you think you might want. And we're going to be exploring it. And we'll help you get closer to narrowing down what you really want. So remember, just a quick review, we have the wish, the implementation, the nerve, and the driving values. And the wish is where it all starts. This is your focus point. And in order to do this, and I've talked about this in other videos, but there's this kind of thing where commitment and confidence are kind of intertwined. And if you're committed to something enough, you're going to start believing that it's inevitable because you're making it inevitable and you'll feel confident enough to do it. But it starts with that commitment. So right now, whether you're sure about what you want or not, just choose, just pick something. And I want you to write it down. And then we're going to refine it in an exercise that I'll give you. So pause this if you need to, and go ahead and write down your wish. Make a wish. Okay, you back? Great. Now let's go through how to refine this wish. We're going to use a tool today, a technique that I call the 7 gates. And here's what it is. You're going to bring your wish with you, and your wish is going to be a password. And you have to go to a gate. And when you get to the gate, you're going to be asked a question, which is, it's going to start with, what do you want? And then, why do you want this? And you have to come up with an answer, and your answer allows you to pass through to the next gate. Let's say your initial wish is you want to go to Paris. Okay, so you go to the first gate and you say, I want to go to Paris. And there's a guard at this gate, and they're going to ask you, well, why do you want to go to Paris? So you think about it a little bit, and maybe you say, well, because I want to visit the Louvre. Okay, cool, you may pass. So now your wish is you want to visit the Louvre. But now you get to the second gate, and you're asked, well, why do you want to visit the Louvre? And you think about it a little bit. Maybe you say, well, because I want to see all those famous artworks, like, the Mona Lisa and other works of art, the Venus de Milo. I want to see all that stuff in person. Okay, so now you've passed through the first gate. You want to see all this great artwork face to face in person. Okay, so you get to the third gate, and here you get asked, well, why do you want to see this artwork like right there first face to face in person? And maybe you say, well, because I want some of this artwork, some of this talent to rub off on me. Oh, okay, so now we're getting to something interesting here. Okay, so you pass the fourth gate, and you said, okay, so far, I want to visit Paris, I want to see the artwork, I want to visit the Louvre, I want to see the artwork, and I want some of this talent or some of this artistic magic to rub off on me. Okay, so now you get to the fifth gate, and you're asked again, well, why do you want this artwork to rub off on you? And you say, well, maybe you say, because I want to create art of my own. Ah, now we're getting somewhere. You want to be an artist. And this is why all these dreams of Paris and visiting the Louvre and all that stuff comes down to the fifth gate. You want to create your own artwork. And this is usually what happens right around the fifth or sixth gate. We do 7 gates because it's a cool number, and also because you want to make sure you have enough space to really examine this. But you get to the fifth gate, and this is now, okay, you say, I want to create artwork of my own. Okay, why do you want to create artwork of your own? And maybe you say, well, because I've always wanted to be an artist. Aha. So now you've always wanted to be an artist. And why have you always wanted to be an artist? And at the seventh gate, maybe you say something like, well, I have this creative spark in me that I've never been able to nurture. So now what you're really doing is all this stuff about Paris and everything else. What you really want is just to nurture your creative spark. And once you've made this discovery, maybe you will go to Paris. But if you do, you're going to probably be drinking a lot less and spending more time observing people, looking at artwork, maybe sketching your own. Maybe if you go to Paris, you're going to be bringing a good sketchbook, or maybe you buy one there in Paris to make it special. You get yourself some nice colored pencils or pens. Maybe you don't even go to Paris. You just buy yourself a sketchbook here at home and you enroll in an art class or set aside an hour a day to draw. But now you've got a much clearer vision of what you really want, and you can begin to make it happen. And either you're going to feel a lot more motivated, or you might even get to get to find something that's easier to achieve and more exciting and more fulfilling. So the 7 gates is a really powerful exercise. You can do this by yourself in a journal. Just, why do I want XYZ? Oh, because I want ABC. Why do you want ABC? Oh, because I want 1, 2, 3. Well, why do you want 1, 2, 3? Because I want 4, 5, 6, and so on. You can do that. Or better yet, get somebody to ask you these questions. Work with a coach or just a person that you care about, who cares about you, or a person that you trust. And get these out on paper, get these out in your voice. And here's something really important. Even if you're journaling these, say each one out loud. Say, I want blank. Because when you say it out loud, number one, if you trip over your own words, this means that there might be internal distractions inside of your head, and maybe you're not yet at the thing you want. Number two, when you say this thing out loud, when you say what you want, you're going to feel something in your gut, as if you're going to feel like, wow, this is exciting, this is what I want, this is what I love, and you're going to feel something positive. Or you might feel like a sad sense, a sense of something's wrong, something's not right, something's off, and then you know that you need to keep exploring and keep finding out what you want. Another thing that might happen is this brings up a little bit of fear, and we're going to talk about dealing with fear pretty soon. Or you might even just not feel anything. And that's okay, because sometimes you start out on a quest, and even if you're not fully 100% behind it, but as you start to take action, it becomes more real, and then the excitement grows. But it all starts with making this wish and refining it by taking it through the 7 gates.